You ever had a fight with a taxi driver?
No.
Oh, they're
You
tough.
argue with a lot of people.
I don't actually.
Yeah, you're the common denominator.
I actually don't.
Yeah.
I don't know you that well, but I feel like you're quite difficult.
He is difficult.
I'm not difficult. I am not difficult.
Which is exactly what a difficult person would say. Somebody who wasn't difficult would go, well, if you say so.
No.
You know what I mean?
Sippers get ready. When people get ready. Sippers get ready for tea with me.
Sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. Before we get into this episode, let me tell you that Tea With Me live is coming to the Waterfront Hall 29th and 30th of November. 30th, sold AF out. 29th, sold out. 30th, tickets available. Okay, we have two guests on each show. We can't tell you who they are. Cork, cerebral palsy, bear. I'm going to start yelling it soon. So come along to that. The link for tickets is in the description. Also, ShaneToddComedy.com. I am on tour in lots of places. Please God, come to the Europe shows, Middle East, America and Canada shows might be out by now. You can check all that out at ShaneToddComedy.com. Tickets for the SSE Arena. Before we get into this episode, let me tell you that we are sponsored by none other than Manscaped.com. The number one in men's below the belt grooming, and it isn't even close. I don't even know any other companies that are doing this. Fuck them. Yeah, unless Manscaped drop us and we need to go to them. But Manscaped, Dan can't handle a world that might happen. Look, Manscaped's a market leader in this kind of thing. Everyone knows about Manscaped by now. When they first started sponsoring the pod, some people would have heard about him. Now, your dad knows what Manscaped is. Your granny knows what Manscaped is. And she's delighted that your granny's using it. Let me tell you, that makes for a smoother lick. Manscaped have... what's a pro? Why would your granny and granddad not be doing that? They can do whatever. The old people love that, apparently. They're always getting up to it. I don't think you lose your sex drive. But I mean, old people's home, they're at it all the time. Manscaped have all the products you could ever need for men's grooming, from head to toe and so much more. Manscaped.com, use the code TEAWITHME for 20% off and free shipping. The link is in the description. Speaking of old guys, my guest today, yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's an atmosphere in the studio today.
Yeah, it's sexual.
Yeah.
And it's sexual.
I'm not happy about it. I've come in. There's an atmosphere.
It's like the first 5 minutes of a porno. Like, it feels like it's got that vibe.
I don't know what I've
bad
come
acting
into today. I don't know what I've come into. I don't know, is there beef between people or something?
Well, do you know what it is? We did the roast battle last night of
So
William
we're all
Thompson.
a bit mean to each other.
So
yeah.
we're still feeling like that. My guests, Alan Irwin and Andrew Ryan. And let me say, Andrew, your top half and your jeans would look so cute with his shoes. That's an outfit.
These are new. These were a present.
Andrew, can I see your shoes?
These are me daily casual shoes.
You two need to swap.
Okay.
That suits your outfit better and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm
There's
going to
no
go back
big
to tell my girlfriend that I gave away the shoes she gave me this morning to Andrew Rand for just because Shane said so.
She got you those shoes this morning? A morning gift?
You've forgotten already.
It's your birthday!
Yeah, I literally said to him last night, thanks Andrew, you have the issues of not knowing. Yous are bastards. Last night we were doing the roast of William Thompson for his birthday, a week after his fucking birthday.
Yeah.
Day before mine, nobody gives a shit.
The big 5.
And then you forget again?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm 48 already.
Are you 48?
No, I'm 35.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. I would have thought, I don't know.
Go on, go for it, go on.
Hey, this is the
I'm
roast
older than
from
you,
last
like.
night.
Shane's older than you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're married. You were married.
I was married.
There's a lot going on there, like. There's a lot going on in your life, like.
Years ago, I used to work with Fraser Robb.
Yes.
And we were in the canteen, and he's 17 years older than me. And we asked a woman behind the counter, what did she think the age gap was? And she said 5 years, right? And then that weekend, we were doing a gig in the Black Box, and we were in the smoking area. And I was telling this story, and there was a guy standing having a smoke, and I said, mate, guess what the age gap is between us? And he went, oh, no, I don't want to offend you or anything. And I went, no, go for it. I've heard the worst. And he went 4 years.
Jesus.
You think you're 4 years older than Fraser?
Yeah. I'm 55.
Do you think you look your age, Andrew?
No.
What age are you?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, now, come on. I was
Doesn't
very
matter.
forthcoming.
Huh?
Okay, who cares?
I'm 42.
Yeah.
I'd say
No, I
probably-
think you look about 38.
I think you look 39.
Do you know I paid €22 today to get me birth cert sent out to me from
wonder what
the
you're gonna say
Irish National Registry Office because someone said that I wasn't born in the place where I was born. They said there was
Sorry,
no way
this hasn't happened since Trump said Obama was born in Kenya.
Yeah.
So this is the modern equivalent. So who is it?
It's basically
is it
a
Trump?
live. I've basically had a face-to-face Twitter conversation with somebody. It was like something
How
that
do you
would
have a
happen.
face-to-face Twitter conversation
No.
with somebody?
Can you just stop for a second? Right?
That's just a conversation. That's
No, but these are the type of
Here, we should do this over Twitter.
No, I was having a conversation with somebody that reminded me that this would be something that would happen on Twitter, but it was actually in real life.
Okay, so talk us through it.
So I was telling somebody, and it
But
stayed.
sorry, I also assumed. I thought you were born in Britain. I thought you.
Is he a Brit?
What? I was born in that. I was
I
born
thought you were
in
born in England.
You've got a big
What are
Kettering
you on
vibe,
about,
I
man?
think.
I wasn't even. I was born in Westmead, County Westmead,
Am I joking? I
in
knew you were-
Athlone.
Where's that, the Midlands, or?
Yeah, Athlone. I can see why she left.
To be fair, so could she. So could everybody, let's be honest. Let's not.
Anyway,
So, talk us through what happened.
so talking to somebody, we were.
Where was this?
I was somewhere in London.
Right.
And they said to me, like, oh, where were you born? I said I was born at Athlone. And they were like, oh, you couldn't have been born in Athlone. There's no maternity hospital in Athlone.
Is this a fellow Irish person?
Yeah. And I went, well, I was born in Athlone because I remember seeing an old birth cert.
You remember being
remember
born?
your birth?
Yeah. Where am I?
Seeing the birth cert.
That was spot on.
I was nearly Indian.
So's he. That's where he's really from. That's where he's getting the birth certificate. Bangalore.
I didn't get that one.
It's in India.
Okay, all these before we went on, it did Shakespeare, and you just looked at me. Honest to God. No culture. Can we get some cultured people on this show?
So you've got a detractor. You've got someone saying
That I
you couldn't
wasn't-
have been born there because there's no maternity.
There was no maternity. They said I was born in South Monaghan. And I went, no, I wasn't born in South Monaghan. My passport says on Irvy. On Irvy is County Westmead. That's Oscoilga for Westmead. And they were like, you couldn't have been born there because there's no maternity hospital there. I said, there may not be a maternity hospital today, but there was one in the 80s. You know, my mother
1980.
worked in the hospital. She was a nurse, right? So they had a maternity wing. Now, obviously, that hospital has been shut down since, I think it shut down in the mid-90s. And they moved to whatever, Mullingar General or whatever. You know, all the services changed and all that. And it always stuck with me that this, even though when I said to them, like, I was born there.
Is
you
this
know,
a stranger or a friend?
it's a comedian.
Right.
And I always said to me, like, but
Who?
they wouldn't. They're
Who is
not
it?
telling you, but they wouldn't believe me. And the conversation ended with them still not believing me. And I went,
See that I wouldn't give a fuck.
no, but my point is, what have I got to gain
From line, yeah.
from lying, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't. You know what? I'm gonna. So I wrote a bit about it, and I've actually ordered the actual birth cert off the Irish government. Copy of the birth cert. Paid $22.50 for a fucking joke, basically, like. And in my next show, I'm doing this thing where I talk about. I've already written a bit about it. It's not in the current tour show, but like, it's going to be talking about like reality, what people believe and what they think they believe and what they believe is right, even when they're dealt with facts in it. So, like, before I came in here, I was like, I can't believe I'm buying a copy of my birth cert because someone to this day still believes I wasn't born in that hospital. Like,
If
even
that
though-
person has any sense of humor, when you show them it, they'll just go, "Yeah, you just made that."
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
like-
because it would be mental to order it to prove them wrong, so they'll just assume that like no one would do that. You just knocked that up yourself on
That's where-
Microsoft PowerPoint or whatever. You know,
that's where I am in my life. I'm that angry about it. Like, so I had to go on
it's
to
such a
the-
weird. Like, why would you lie? Like, you wouldn't lie for
Yeah.
the fun of me. Like,
I
you know what I mean? It's not like
So it stayed with me, and I was like, I need to prove this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I don't need to prove anything.
But also, you could be born in the back room of an HMV. Like, it doesn't. You don't have to be in a hospital to be born.
I don't understand that people get born at home, don't they? They
Yeah.
get born in swimming pools in their house. Water birth, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the husband has to stand with a wee net for the poo.
No.
Did you have to do that?
No.
I don't have any kids,
Tell
but
you what.
I know midwives. And
Tell you what. We had 2 water births.
Yeah,
That
no-
wasn't a thing.
No poo or
That
no
wasn't a
net.
thing. I did.
You had a
She
poo.
didn't, yeah.
What, like into the pool?
Yeah.
Like just.
I bet you were in the pool as well with her.
I wasn't the first time. Second time I was.
Did your babies get born in your house? Or did you go to hospital? You went to hospital. but-
Hospital, home from home it's called. And there's a big bath there that Philip and did there.
Did you go in and put your hand in the window? That's all right.
Yeah.
That's
Did you
warm
do
enough.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's that. I don't know.
It's brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah. First time they didn't say to me about getting in. I didn't even think to. And then second time they went, "Do you want to?" And I was like,
Go with
well, yeah,
armbands and stuff.
so I can deliver it. I delivered
Wee
it.
rubber ring on.
So what's the benefit of a?
I called him when he came out.
What's the benefit of a water birth than a standard?
First of all, like, how relaxed do you be in the bath? Like, bath's relaxing. You're in a nice temperature of a bath. You're relaxed instead of lying on a bed. So it's like a gravity thing as well.
All right.
So if you're kneeling in a bath, it's a lot better than like apparently if you're lying flat, then the baby's trying to come out like this. Whereas when the baby's coming out like that, it's easier. It's more of a natural path of travel.
Is it less pain for your wife as well?
I don't know. I just think it's a more tranquil.
There's less trauma for the baby as well because the baby's in water and then comes out into water.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's mad.
Yeah.
Like it's mad.
Is there like a queue?
What?
Like, do you go in? Like, when you
How many
finish,
kids
like,
do you think he has?
no, but like, no, but like when you, no, but like,
Daddy, pick me. Can I come out next?
no, but like, when you finish, the
Yeah.
baby's born, and do they go, listen, we've another one coming in there in 10 minutes?
No,
like,
it's not really like that. There's other rooms that have
Oh, right,
this
okay.
and stuff, but it's called Home from Home, and it's unbelievable if people get the opportunity.
and do you
to
like
do it.
book it? You have to book it, like.
You don't necessarily book. You might have a date where they bring you in if you've gone over.
Yeah.
Where they go, we're going to book you in for this time, but no, you sort of pre-sign up to it. With your midwife stuff, you're like, this is our plan. We want to do this, and it's brilliant. Like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. Screaming women on a ward and everyone, there's
Chaos,
like
yeah.
chaos, and it was the complete opposite. It was like
Calm, yeah.
as calm as it can be.
Brilliant.
And it was good. I liked it.
I bet your sons don't have any problems with their birth certs, do they?
No.
Getting questioned about where they
Or
were
swimming.
born.
Sippers, let me take a quick second to tell you that we are sponsored by none other than NordVPN. Look, it's getting to that time of year. The football's back. There's loads of boxing matches coming up. There's big sporting events. Golf, badminton. You want to watch those, but maybe you're in a different part of the world and it means they don't have the rights to it. They're not showing it. Maybe you have a Sky Sports package and you want to access that, but you're in, name a country, Al.
Guatemala.
Guatemala. What are you doing in Guatemala? That's besides the point. You want to watch Doncaster play Barnsley. With NordVPN, you can do that because you switch your virtual location, and that allows you to save money as well because you can purchase flights and hotels and subscriptions from other countries at a cheaper price. You trick your phone into telling it you're somewhere else. You're in Guatemala. There's threat protection from viruses, malware, and phishing sites, although maybe that's what you want to access. Premium cybersecurity for the price of a cup of coffee every month, and one NordVPN account can be used on up to 10 devices. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, we use this, go to nordvpn.com/teawithme, and our link also gives you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. The link's in the description. Back to the app. Where were you born, Alan?
Lagan Valley in Lisburn.
Oh, right, okay.
You sure about that? Don't think there was a hospital there, mate.
Yeah, I say I'm from
there.
Lisburn for clout. Yeah, Lagan Valley.
How's you eating Donald, guy?
35 years ago today. Well, tonight. 10 to 11 at night. I
Ah,
like
it's
these
your
pots,
birthday
by
today.
the way. I really like it.
That's
It's
not
the only
weird.
time Andrew's ever touched me.
That's a weird thing,
What?
to care about the time you were born.
No, it's not that I care about the time. It's that we used to, in the house, there was those wee ornaments. Remember people used to get those wee ornaments
This
with like
is
a
going to
crawling...
be weird.
No, they were like wee tiny ornaments with like, they look almost like a little trophy. Nobody else had these. Oh, fuck. It's like a crawling baby, and then on it would have your full name and your date of,
You Mormon or
time of
something?
birth. What?
You like
No,
Mormon?
Jesus, no, I'm an Anglican. But
Like fishing?
what? I have
Is Anglican...
Church of Ireland.
Oh, you're
So
the other
we get to wear the
ornament.
robes, but we don't have any of the guilt. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? This is what you want.
So there's Church of Ireland, the Catholic Church, and then there's the Presbyterians, isn't
Yeah.
there?
Then Methodist, Baptist.
Hold on, you're Protestant. Peter Church of Ireland?
Yeah, Church of Ireland's Protestant.
So he's Graham Norton. Graham Norton.
Well, no, my bank statement would say very different, but
No, but like Graham Norton is from Bandon in Cork. Well, first of all, I don't know if you noticed, but his name isn't Graham Norton. You know, that's not his name.
What is it?
Just a stage name.
So what's his real name?
Graham Walker.
That's still like a chat show enough
this
name,
is
no?
Frank Mitchell all over again.
Yeah, so
You know
Graham.
Frank Mitchell's not Frank Mitchell's name?
Yeah, but he's an actor, like.
From Frank Mitchell's Weatherman. Ex-Weatherman.
Oh, I tell you, talk about EastEnders. Isn't there Frank Mitchell
no,
on
that's Frank
EastEnders?
Butcher.
Oh, Frank Butcher.
Mike Reid.
I'm on pills, don't you know?
Oh, Frank
You ever seen him do stand-up?
No.
It's mental.
I imagine
He
it's
does-
racist.
What?
Just
no,
by his voice.
He is like an old school like club comic, like jokes.
Yeah.
But he does about 30 every minute. It's insane. There's a couple of, you can get it on YouTube, like a couple of specials he did.
I love
like
that.
after he was already Frank Butcher. And he is funny, like, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
exhausting. But
Not my favourite soap butcher. I'll say Ashley. I'll say
yeah,
Ashley.
fucking Fred Elliott, yeah.
He's dead now. He's dead now.
He
isn't
died there recently, yeah.
Yeah, he's
The
died.
character or the man?
The man.
The character died years
The
ago.
character's still going.
Just a shadow. yeah. So can I just say, do you know what I'm watching on telly at the moment? The Secret Lives of the Wives of Mormons.
Oh, yeah,
It's on
yeah.
So I've
Disney.
heard about this. I thought this was
They're all
a drama.
shagging each other, mate.
The wives?
They're all
HLA, hot
they're all
lesbian action?
They're all at it, like.
So hold on. Talk me through this because not sex, please God. But I mean, I thought this was a drama when I heard this the Lives of Mormon Wives, or whatever it's called.
There is a drama about the same thing called Big Love,
Right.
which is about a guy with 3 wives.
Yeah.
So what are they allowed to be married to multiple people?
No. So Julie.
Where's
and
this at, America?
Utah.
Utah's the Mormon
Right.
state in
So
America, yeah.
basically, Julie and I have been starting to watch the Housewives of California, the Housewives of New York. Then we got into the Housewives.
Busy, mate, yeah.
The Housewives of Dubai. We do an hour every day during the dinner. When we have dinner, we watch the Housewives. That's our routine.
Trashy move.
I
love it. I love
having
it.
the TV on at dinner.
Oh, I love it.
I always have the TV on dinner.
When we chat about it, like, and it's all women gaslighting each other. It's fucking toxic, right? And so anyway, she said to me, "There's the Mormons' wives. This one is in Utah." So we watched 3 episodes, right? Holy,
a big dinner.
Holy Jesus! Oh no, we finished the dinner and then we. Do you know?
I know.
You probably.
Don't say to him he wouldn't know what that's like.
Oh, well, I didn't say
That's what you were going to
I didn't
say.
say
You must
anything.
know, me and my ex-wife used to watch Below Deck when we were having our
Love-
dinner. So
love-
great
love-
show, great show.
And now your
Love
marriage is
Below
below
You're
deck.
talking to me a bit too much now.
Love Below Deck. Love Below Deck.
Your nuptials drowned.
What was I going to say to you? Yes, you got to watch these. Got to watch these Mormons.
Sorry, can we go
man.
back to how awful that was?
I know, yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Andrew.
You're grand. You're grand. The Mormons, right? They get married very young,
Okay.
like 19, 20, 21. They don't drink, and they have strict church rules. Brandon Flowers from The Killers is a Mormon.
Are they the ones that get to have the year out?
No, that's
Yeah.
the
Where
Amish.
you go
That's
nuts? Right.
Yeah, but anyway, well, no, some of them go on. Some of them
No,
go
that's
off
but it's
to
missionary stuff.
They're
It's
missionary
not like
stuff.
Oh, so
yeah.
they get to
it's
have sex?
The Amish have the thing. Yeah, the Amish have the thing where like
Going on for a year,
You go off
doggy
for a
here.
year. You're allowed to do whatever you want, and then either you can come back to the community and never do any of that ever again, or you can stay doing that, but you can never come back.
Right.
So
Quite strict, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they don't drink and stuff like that. But they get married really young, and they're all about praying and all that kind of stuff. And they all have a community, and they have
Utah's a dry state, isn't it? I'm nearly sure it is.
yeah, well,
probably is,
like their
yeah.
Saturday nights now, their vice is sodas, so Diet Cokes. Like that's all they drink. They go and have parties, and it's all just Diet Cokes and stuff. That's their excitement, right? But they're all.
I can get on
but
board
there's-
with it.
But a lot of them are like just like the husbands are married to get married, and the husband's been caught on Tinder, and then there's one woman in there. She's a swinger. Like it's fucking mad. Like,
So she won't have a pint, but she'll swing. I feel like that's an inconsistent moral
do,
compass.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just
Do you know the
Mad.
blue WKD? No, but let me suck off a stranger.
yeah. And so they're all
Here,
quite.
if you're sucking somebody off, they're no longer a stranger. All right. That's-
a close personal friend.
yeah.
Gentle. But I highly recommend you get into it with your wife.
Yeah,
If you're looking for
sounds
something
interesting.
like it's just like
It's
it's
addictive
insane.
viewing,
like.
one of those
Yeah,
things.
because they're all the personalities in it, and then all these housewives shows are all about people preparing for an event, going to an event. There's a fallout at the event.
Yeah.
Then there's the aftermath of the event, and then you prepare for the next event. All they're doing is going to events, and there's bitchiness and fighting.
Yes.
That's all these.
That was
It
like
seems to be
Selling Sunset.
it's a formula.
What
Right.
what is the what are Mormons like? What do Mormons believe in?
So
Latter-day Saints. isn't
Latter-day
it?
Saints.
Latter-day
So
Saints.
it
Yeah.
basically, broad strokes, is like that in I think the 1800s. There's a guy called Joseph Smith, who like God came to him and gave him golden tablets with like basically said the New Testament wasn't the last of the Bible. There's this new bit of the Bible, and then so they follow that. So there's Christian
It's like
elements
a
to it.
patron. It's a patron.
Right.
Yeah, you pay a few quid a month. No,
It's
not
on the
really.
side. Like.
But so they, because there were so few of them for a long time, men were allowed to have multiple wives. to try and increase the number.
build up the
But now
numbers.
they're not allowed. There's some very extreme sects that would allow it, the mainstream church doesn't allow that anymore. But basically, they have their own Bible. Other Christians would say they're not Christians, but they probably consider themselves to be Christians.
Right.
They love riding.
Right.
Who
They're
doesn't?
into it, like.
And God.
And riding and God.
Riding God and Diet Coke.
Riding God and soda, that's what
There's
they
a
call it.
comma in there between riding and God. That's
What's the
not
number
that
one soda? Can I offer my take first?
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper, unrivaled. Boom, up there.
Diet
I-
Coke.
Coke, like full fat
Diet
Coke
Coke
is,
over Coke, or do you just drink Diet Coke because you? Sorry, I've been drinking wrong. With knife and fork. Do you have Diet Coke because you're trying to be health conscious? Would you rather have Coke? Do you prefer the taste of Coke, or do you actually, if you could pick, would you pick Diet Coke?
Diet Coke all
We're
the
asking
way.
the big questions today.
All day Diet Coke.
It's a false economy doing the old I drink Diet Coke to like be healthy because it's full of carcinogens. Like the artificial sugar's far worse for you than sugar.
And then
you
they got the Coke Zero, which is to bypass the sugar tax, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's still full of, there's a sweetener.
Yeah. I like a Pepsi Max now and again. If I was going to have a zero sugar
Yeah.
one, I'd be Pepsi Max.
Pepsi
Nice.
Max is like,
It's a good mixer.
But when was the last time you had a Pepsi?
oh,
Only when at a cinema that I'm annoyed at. Like, you
Yeah.
go, oh, it's just a Pepsi. And I go, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I saw that meme that went round that goes, Pepsi should rename itself. We only have Pepsi. Because everyone goes, give a Coke. It's Pepsi. Is that okay?
You're never in a nice hotel and they go, we only have Pepsi. That never
Yes.
happens. It's always in the shit
It's one of
business.
them like restaurants here that's like American themed, you know, like Mississippi
Diner or something.
Mississippi Cletus's, you know.
Oh, yeah. They love having those in Lisburn. Restaurants that have a place from America
Place
and a name or
and
an
a
animal.
name. Yeah.
Do you know a little life hack for you? Do you ever go to a restaurant, bar or hotel or something like that and you go up to the counter and you say, can I get, say, 2 Diet Cokes? And if they have the gun, you know, the sprayer gun, always get your drink with no ice
Did you get more?
because you get more. And then gas for a glass of ice so you don't get ripped off on the Coke. Like.
On the side.
Yeah, so like I go up and I go, so sometimes I go out and I go, can I have Diet Coke? And I go, is it a bottle or is it a gun? And they'll go, oh, it's a gun. I go, no ice. And then they fill it up to the top because they have to. And then you go, and can I have a glass of ice? So.
Oh, bet they
if
hate that. Like.
But if it's a bottle, I'm totally cool with that.
But it doesn't work in like McDonald's because they just hit a button and it fills
Yeah, but
to a
if
certain level.
I'm in McDonald's, I'm going through hell anyway. Why am
I
I
love
there?
McDonald's.
Yeah, but if I'm in McDonald's, I'm in a dark place. And
Really?
it needs to get darker. I'm not going there for happiness.
So if things aren't
They
going
have a happy
well,
meal.
That's the
if
problem.
things are going well and we can't find Andrew Ryan, he's in
He's in
McDonald's.
Sprucefield.
When you
Like,
see McDonald's, there needs to be a phone call made.
Right, yeah.
Andrew's not doing well today.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
in
yeah.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Now, McDonald's is the 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning after a rake of pints. I need something like.
See, what I like about it is it's reliable. You know exactly. It's not the best, but you know exactly what you're going to get in a McDonald's.
Oh, it's consistent as well.
You know what I mean? You go to KFC, every KFC's different. Like some of them
Yes.
are all right, some of them are horrendous. You go to McDonald's, it's just the same. All of them are identical.
Did you have any food after the show last night? You a post gig eater guy?
Not as much as I used to be. It used to be lethal. I used to like before I drove because you'd have pints. I used to get the taxi to go through the drive-through at Sprucefield McDonald's,
That's cheeky.
and then the
that's
meter's
cheeky.
running. He was happy enough.
Did you buy him a burger? Like,
Yeah, would
No,
you
but what I
offer?
did do was pretend to be on the phone to somebody to justify the amount I was ordering.
You're like, yes, love, I'll get all that. No,
No
problem.
sweat. 20 McNuggets. If you insist, like, all right, you know.
For you and the kids.
Yes. 3 in
2
the morning.
a.m. Yeah.
So
dropping you back to a 1-bed flat.
But hold on, would a driver ever be like, no, mate, I prefer we didn't do that, or like not in the
they've
car?
never,
don't
they
want
never
that
said
smell
that.
in
I
the
mean, if
car.
he had, I'm non-confrontational, so I'd have went, no worries, you know.
Right.
But
You ever had a fight with a taxi driver?
No.
Oh, they're
you
tough.
argue with a lot of people.
I don't actually.
Yeah, you're the common
I don't.
denominator.
I actually don't.
Yeah,
I don't know you that well, but I feel like you're quite difficult,
he is difficult.
I'm not difficult. I am not difficult.
which is exactly what a difficult person would say. Somebody who wasn't difficult would go, well, if you say so.
No.
You know what I mean?
I have a very high level of tolerance.
Right.
I just have zero tolerance when it comes to.
What's your issue with taxi drivers?
I have no issue with taxi drivers, but have you ever argued with one?
No.
Oh, they always win.
But what are you having the argument about? Like price?
Yeah, like I had a taxi that picked me up at the airport, and it was raining, and he wouldn't drop me up to my house. It was too short a journey.
Oh, your house in Nottingham?
Yeah.
Well, Then he's going to lose his place in the queue and he's going to have to pay to
But
go
that's
through
the
it.
lottery. Driving a cab's a lottery.
But he doesn't have. He can refuse the
It's
fare.
piss and rain. He didn't refuse the fare. I said, I'm sorry. It was piss and rain. I said, look, I'm only going up the road. I always give him an extra tip because I appreciate the journey. And I did say, no, it's not a thing. And he was like, I've been waiting here an hour and this is the fare I get. And I went, being a taxi driver is a lottery. You don't know what's getting in. You could get a great fare up to Ballymena. You could get a small fare into the city and back out again. That's the game, like.
Bet you
Did
appreciate
he
you tell
take
him that.
you?
He took me, yeah, but he was annoying me, like.
Bet you pay by
So-
card as well.
I didn't get and tip him, and I made sure he dropped me a little bit away from my house. I didn't want him to see my house, just in case.
But I'd be fair, you know.
So I think I'm no, but like he should. Being a taxi driver is a lottery of a gig. Like you don't know, you can't demand. I'll only pick up people where I can make 30 quid or something. Like it's
But
a
that's
lottery.
all right. He doesn't have to take you. Like, could he not have been like go with someone else, or is it a line of them and you've got to get in?
It's the line, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but like, well, if you get an Uber, like they know exactly where you're going, so they.
And that's
will
why they always
decide
refuse it. Like if you're already going up the road, they're like, nah.
No, Uber always pick you up.
Me and Willie
But
were
there's not
in
enough Ubers around.
Me and Willie were in Uber in Bristol, and Eastern European guy coming out of the airport, 1 mile out of the airport, heading towards Bristol, hits the world's biggest pothole. It was like a crater, and he is fuming. But we were trying not to laugh because it was like Borat being annoyed.
Did you have to pull in or anything?
Borat isn't Eastern European. He's from
His
Central Asia.
his car blew up. Basically, the tire blew up. Like it was a flat straight away, and he continued to drive on
He
it.
drove
and I
on
went,
it? Oh.
and I went, you might need to stop driving. And then he was basically saying he needs to get us to where we need to go, which was another like 15 miles. I was like, no, you need to pull over. And he's like, the wheel's okay. And I went, but it's not going to be if you continue to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
you drive on a
please,
flat for 15 miles, your car's not going to be okay?
please, for your own sake, stop driving. And then he pulled in and he was fuming. And I was like, do you have a spare? I was like, he just didn't know what to do. And that's the difference between taxi drivers and like a guy who's just doing Uber on the side for a bit. He had no idea about his car. And I was like, do you want to see if you got a spare? And I can like, I'll change it. Like, I don't care about, we have ages. We're not on a time schedule. Like, I'll change your tire if you want. Or it's maybe one of those ones you fire the
Fluid,
stuff into
yeah.
it. And he was just fuming. So I was like, he's like, sorry. And I was like, no, sorry that this happening to you. But we booked another Uber. So we pulled in, we booked another Uber. And then he just like drove off. He's like, right, lads, see you later.
Without
And just
fixing the tire?
back onto the motorway.
Did he have a spare?
He didn't have a spare. He said he was driving to a garage, but I was like,
I don't have a spare and I live in fear of that. You know, I don't trust those puncture repair kits. They're just bollocks.
Yeah.
That's like the equivalent of, that's like motor bareback.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, if anything goes wrong, I'm fucked.
Yep.
It's not a scenario where I can just change a wheel.
I went out with a girl once, and I said to her, like, if you got roadside assistance or anything.
Did
she
you
had a-
mean that like protection, contraceptive?
Yeah, no. If you got roadside assistance, like,
Right.
do you know what I mean? She had a flat tire, right?
It's a hand job and a
And
lay-by.
it's what.
A hand job and a lay-by.
So she had a flat tire, and I said, "Your tire's flat," and she went, "Yeah, it's been like that for a week." And I went, "Well, you're gonna have to do something about it. It seems like it's like a slow puncture or something like that, right?" And I goes, "Have you got a spare tire?" And she goes, "I don't know." So I went to the boot and I lifted up the thing, and she didn't have a spare. And I goes, "Right, well, we were going off on a drive," and I said, "You can't." I said, have you got a pump or anything like to get you to the garage? I said, right. So say I said to her, like, so say if you're driving down the road now and this blows out, what are you going to do? And she goes, I'll just ring my dad. I said, your dad lives 2 hours away. And I was like, have you got roadside assistance? She was like, no, I just ring my dad. I said, yeah, but what I'm saying is you can't, like, your dad can't do anything. He's 2 hours away. You need to be dealt with immediately.
Oh, aye. Now we're getting
Now we're back to the hand job and a
You
lay-by.
need to
I told
be dealt with immediately.
Like, your dad can't. You're not going to sit for 2 hours while your dad
Did you
drives
put high
over.
vis on and be a sexy AA man? Is that what's going on? You're like, hey.
So I drove the car to the garage, and she paid like 60, 70 quid to get a new tire. And I said, like, were you ever going to do this? She was like, no, I was just going to just keep driving. And I just went, we're not going to work
I
out.
bet
No,
she was.
you shouldn't date that woman. No.
I bet she was soaking after all that.
No, it's just
After
like,
a lecture. A lecture.
no, it wasn't a lecture. I did it in a very. I said, look,
It
what?
wasn't a lecture.
I was
Your
just-
dad's 2 hours away. He can't help you.
But he can't.
That sounds like a threat, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, is your daddy away?
No, Daddy's here.
Have you ever?
I never want to hear that you ever called anybody daddy, even if you have. Or no, not called anybody. Being called. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever seen a car stuck on the side of the road and pulled in to help?
Depends entirely on the scenario.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in the way. Like, oh, brilliant! Here's somebody fucking useless to help.
Have you ever done that? No.
If it was an older person or something,
Yeah.
and they looked like they didn't know what was happening, of course I'm going
Yeah.
to help. But because obviously then I'll phone the local press and see if they can send someone out to take photos of it. But yeah, I would help someone if I felt like they needed help.
Yeah.
But if it's someone who has it under control, then no.
Yeah.
I'd be like better at that than you would think. If you have a flat, I'll change it.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
problem.
I can believe that.
No
Well, I
problem.
worked in a petrol station. We used to change tires all the time, like so. But
The fact that I can change the tire convinces me that anybody can change the
It's not
tire.
difficult.
It's
It's not
not
difficult.
complicated.
We got to talk about the roast last night.
right.
We did the roast of William Thompson last night in the Black Box.
It wasn't just a William. Fuck me.
I mean, everybody got it. The panel was me, Willie, Dave, Tim McGarry, Alan, Jazz, Luke McGibbon, Jordan Robinson,
Mickey and Ian.
Mickey Bartlett, Ian Thompson. There was a lot of people initially said no to this. Then there was people who said yes, but then at the last minute were like, no, I can't. So fair play to everybody who got up and did it. It was brutal.
It really was.
brutal. But I think 90% of it, 95% of it was like brutal but fine. And then there was 5% that was brutal but horrific.
Yeah.
But if you'd walked in during it, like I did a thing at the start, I was hosting it where I was like, you will hear horrible things tonight, but just know that we have thick skin, we do stand up and we're friends. So we can sort of do this. It's not like you're just saying this to a stranger, but some of the stuff.
I'm really excited to watch it back.
See the vibe backstage? Oh my God, before the show started, everybody like, ha ha ha, oh, so on edge.
Yeah, nobody was having fun. Like,
Nobody was having fun. And
like I thought I was
My
on
God.
first. I thought I was harsh, but I was like a fucking amuse bush. Like it was not like it was just like, oh, we taste of what's to come. Like it was
yeah.
So did you go in like quite light?
not light, but like I thought it was harsh enough.
Do you know
but
what?
It wasn't nearly as harsh
Can you
as
give
some
me an
people.
example of something you said?
It's gonna
Shane
sound-
Todd, Shane Todd, you could argue that he's the best looking comedian in NI comedy, although looking at this stage, that's like being the sexiest man in the hospice.
Good line.
Yeah, it was a good line.
Good line.
And I liked it because there's a compliment in there, kind of.
Yeah. Sort of. King of the Dwarfs,
I said,
But enough about William.
I said, Alan's new girlfriend is 10 years younger than him. People can't believe it when they see her. They go, whoa, she looks great for 45. Now,
Well, Dave did the other one when he went, Alan's girlfriend's 10 years younger than him. You wouldn't think Alan's only 25.
William said, Alan loves wrestling. Children to the ground.
Which I want to know, how did he know? That's
By the way, Tim McGarry is a
unbelievable.
savage. Tim played possum all week. Apparently he was on the Dan and all, because they record upstairs their pod, and he's like, I don't know what a roast is. I don't know what I'm doing. What do I say? Tim shows up, just murder picture like.
Bullets everywhere. Like
I thought he
Yes.
was really interesting to watch because I think before he was on, I was like, God, he's not laughing that much. And then I realised he was rewriting in his head. And then once he was done, he was laughing at everything because he had relaxed then.
Yeah.
But it was like, it just got up. Because he started quite slow.
Yeah, he
And
did.
I thought he's not gonna go that hard.
He started like he didn't understand
Yeah.
the roast kind of thing. He looked like he was riffing a bit, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, he's not planned." And then he just was like, "Here we go." I was hosting, so I opened, and I was real nervous, but I was delighted to go first because it gets out of the way, and then you can just relax.
Yeah.
But
Me too, I
when
was
it
glad
gets
to go
round to
early.
everyone talking about you, you're like, "Here we go." But it was.
Great.
It was
So
smashing, and it was people were like nothing was off the table, nothing.
No.
when you say like,
No sacred
you
cows.
say,
as they say.
were you all kind of secretly roasting each other as well? Oh,
Oh, that's
William,
what you
like?
do. So
you go round
it's a
the
roast of
panel.
Willie, but you roast everyone else on the panel.
Oh, see, I don't.
And then you
yeah.
finish
And
with
then you
Willie.
finish. So
Oh, sorry.
The
Okay.
way I did mine was it was like maybe 2 jokes about each person and then about 10 about William.
Oh,
So-
right, okay.
I had about 7 jokes about everyone, and then 10 minutes about.
You did. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're already behind here. Fucker,
Yeah.
come on.
I was asked to do it, yeah, but it wouldn't be my thing.
I can understand. I don't think I would do another one. I loved it, but I don't think I would do it again because it felt very exciting to do it. Probably the same with, even though I did the boxing twice, I feel like I do about the last boxing, which is I loved it, and it's good to say you've done it, but I don't necessarily think I'd do it again. I think we got it right. So I would hate to do one where you go, oh, I've really upset that person, or
I think as well, it would only work again. You'd have to have almost an entirely different panel,
Yeah.
because there's only so many jokes you can make. Like,
Yes.
you know, even by the end, it was. I felt bad for the people going towards the end because they were dropping jokes because they were like, well, somebody's basically done
been
that already.
done. Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
They've touched on that. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it you wouldn't like the idea of what people would say about you, or what you would say about other people?
Well, I've seen roast battles in England. Like I've been to see them at the Edinburgh Fest. They used to, one year at the festival, they did a roast battle. I think every Thursday, Friday, Saturday there was a lot of comedians.
So I see. So that's what 1v1.
Yeah, but I obviously seen this. I've seen this in America in terms of, you know, there's a Justin Bieber one, wasn't there?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Comedy
that's
Central
right.
roast is that format. Yeah.
So I've seen bits of it. I know the format. I know how it works. You stand up, you make a joke, blah blah blah. I forgot that you actually go around the other people as well. For me personally, it wouldn't suit me to be shitting on someone. And when you like, I get it, and I think that there's a place for it. But I think there's a place for it for maybe certain personalities. But
See,
it
I think it works best when you don't normally do that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Because it's like
Plus-
you're writing material that you wouldn't normally write.
Plus, you're gonna get shit on.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's all come
so
back.
it's all fair in love and war, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It evens itself out.
Like I don't think anybody took anything thick last night, which was nice.
Plus, I'm not gonna say anything about Alan that isn't true. No, that either he doesn't talk about in his set subject matter, or that we wouldn't say on a pod. If
Yeah.
you get me,
Yeah.
I'll do an extreme version of it, but I'm not gonna suddenly say something.
Like if I've told you something privately, you're not going to bring that up in front of 200 people.
Exactly.
you see,
Someone did that to someone else, but hey.
Right.
Yeah, but we have a bit of dignity and decorum about it. Shit.
So was there beef?
There was Wagyu.
Wagyu's extra beef.
Exactly.
Oh, right.
So there's beef. So
Let's you look.
You had a bit Trump there. Very bad.
they're eating the dogs.
Wow, I saw it on TV. It was yeah. I mean, I would say there was a couple of moments where I was like this. You know that meme of the guys like,
This could go either way.
yeah.
You did say to me before we started recording that a couple of times you looked at me, my listening face is quite intense. So I just looked raging even though it wasn't.
Can I tell you something? Somebody left before the
Oh.
end.
That's true, actually.
Oh. Okay.
So it was a bit wild.
Put it this way, it's worth keeping this Patreon subscription going if it's going to be released. Like, I want to see all this.
What did you guys think of it as like innocent bystanders last night? Did you think it was more extreme than you thought, or tamer than you thought, or what?
I thought it ended up being more extreme towards the middle, towards the end. The start was what I was expecting, and then I think Tim went pretty hard. Ian, Luke McGibbon started. Yeah.
Luke really went hard, actually, and Luke's such a lovely, cuddly guy.
Luke had that like inside him.
He was writing, like,
He said Luke's been writing since August.
he had, like, dozens of jokes for every person,
Yeah,
which is just mental.
yeah.
Wow. I don't know how I would take it. Do you know what I mean?
But I want to see, like, there are comedians locally who've went, I'm not doing any more roast stuff because it hurts me. And I actually admire that. Somebody going, do you know what?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
take it too personal.
Oh, I wouldn't think why would you not do that?
Yeah.
I'm saying I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
But were they going into like the way I look at it is like if you're doing a normal stand-up gig and you're chatting to the crowd and what's your name, where are you from, what you do, and that's very quite light. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But if you're doing a roast, are you like the roast to me seems like you're going into family stuff, you're going into relationship stuff. That
a lot of stuff about dead parents, things like that.
Yeah,
like,
so like my point is like you don't know that when you're bantering with the front row of a crowd, you're keeping it quite light. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff is fine. But I think if you go into stuff that people are actually, you know, have issues with and have had issues with, I don't really know. Like I wouldn't know if I'm talking to someone on a front row what their family life has been like. You know what I mean?
I
So
suppose
there's a bit of a difference.
We know each other better. So,
Yeah.
like, say one of my parents were dead, I might be someone who leans into that in my act, and jokes. Sees the silly side of that on a pod.
Yeah, like everybody.
Or I might be somebody who goes the other way, and I'm like, that's off limits for me. If everyone knows that's off limits for you, then that should never
And
be
actually,
talked
that was.
about
I mean, we
in the
said
roast.
that everybody was asked, like, is there anything you just are like, this is just a no go,
Yes.
like it's too personal.
So did William have off limits? Did he have stuff that was off limits?
Well,
you
he
don't
had
have to tell
nothing
me
off
like
limits.
He had nothing off
he had
limits.
nothing off limits. Okay,
No.
but
I mean,
was-
most of us were like
There was a couple of like, it was more like things like. Oh, well, I can just tell you what my red line was. I was like, look, you can talk about me being divorced, but don't talk about personal details of my ex-wife. That's
of course, yeah,
you know,
yeah. Because she's
but
not there to defend
She
herself.
does, and it's nothing to do with her.
yeah, it's
you
more
know.
about other people. Like, there's nothing anyone could have said to me about me last night that would have.
So what did somebody tear into? He tore into you about being the best looking guy in a hospice. What
Well,
else did other comedians say
I
about
also
you? Like,
supplied he was boring, didn't I?
Yeah.
so what else? What else did you get? What else did you get? Like, what did you get? What else did you get?
That's
last
right.
night?
So I got
remember that,
younger girlfriend, loads of stuff with my ex-wife.
Hans Moleman.
Jordan did a joke about my mum, Hans Moleman. Yes, he said look like Hans Moleman and Groundskeeper Willie. Jordan did a joke about my mum that he nearly didn't do, and then everybody booed him until he did it.
Yeah.
And he showed me it, and I was like, "That's fine, go ahead." And it was. I'll not repeat it. You keep that
See,
for
to be
the-
honest, there's a couple of lines I could tell you that are just, it's in the wrong context. I'd tell you now, and you'd be like, that's fucking terrible. But if you were in the environment of
Yes.
everyone going, I'm cool with this, and we know
Dave's
what
joke
this
about
is.
your hands was really funny, and it works. in
Dave
context.
said,
Now, can I do it? Shane Todd's fingers are so long he uses his dick for foreplay.
what is he talking about?
Fucking hell, he's not joking. I don't even get a good look at those
I
things.
got
Looks like it's going to light up at the end.
I got some Mike McGoldrick. Stuff.
Right.
I got Alan called me boring.
What I actually said was he asked questions of his audience, questions like, what if Colin Gaddis was boring?
It didn't land on the night either, but
It
I
actually
get the
didn't.
joke. It didn't. Play the tape back. I got the joke, but it was worded wrong. But
All right, dick fingers. Fuck me.
you be careful, or you'll.
What, you got to finger me? What?
Yeah. Pretty
Oh no, I'd hate that.
He can do that from over there.
thought you
Just
didn't
down
like
the
roasts.
stairs.
That's interesting. So somebody left. Oh, that's quite cool. That's quite a tricky one, isn't it? I just don't know. It's just, well, like, but did Willie want this? How did this come
He
about?
really
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
his
yeah.
idea, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Also,
yeah.
it was his idea. Was he? Yeah.
Willie's the number one guy for like. He's like, go for it. There's nothing you can say to Willie that's gonna offend him, and he just sat in a big chair like this in the middle of everyone and just got it from all angles, and then he got the hit back at the end with his, and it was fun. It's funny to look out at some faces in the audience last night of people who know they're going to a roast. I at the start go, you're gonna hear some stuff tonight that's wild. Just know that this is what we do. And then there were still people, and even stuff that wasn't that wild, like this. Jesus, people in the audience were freaking out.
I saw a roast. Sorry, I saw a roast in Edinburgh a couple of years ago, and one of the comedians that was doing it was the 1-to-1 one. You know, that ended up being on the TV. Yeah, they stormed off halfway through it because the other person that was roasting him went somewhere they shouldn't have went.
Yeah.
And
So the person was in the wrong.
There
like,
is a
that
line.
person
There's a,
didn't
there,
react.
there is a line.
I think what happened was, I think from what I was told, now I could be completely wrong here, but they were exchanging texts and they were like, look man, you know, we're doing this thing on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it is, you know, tell me what to not talk about. I think your man sent back 2 things. He said, look, my dad's got cancer at the moment, so that's one thing, and also this thing, whatever it is. So the guy went on stage then and then spoke about one of the 2 things. And the guy
That's
went-
shit, Eel.
And the guy was like, and apparently there was like a chain of text messages where the other guy had agreed not to talk about it, and he had the chain said like, do you know what, if you're going to go below the belt, I've kept everything that you've said.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
really
doing
shit.
that.
No, it is shit.
And then I think that was the first one I saw, and it kind of left a bit of a real sour taste at the gig because it was quite early on. And then the next one I went to, they were all like, oh yeah, just go for me, and then it happened I just thought like, there's having the crack and there's been a bit of a prick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh,
100%.
definitely,
And
definitely.
I
definitely.
think sometimes people who can just, they can get the lines blurred, you know, and I think I'd rather reduce.
I think you go outside those red lines, you're being a
Just
prick.
an arsehole, like.
But
Yeah.
but there was nobody last night when I left where I was like, they were a dick to me.
Yeah.
And
That was a bit
think
far.
I'm still friends
like, you
with
know,
everyone that was on.
But also as well as like I wouldn't know. I'm trying to say to myself, right? How am I going to rip Alan Irwin now? How am I going to rip Shane? Because I don't write like
His
that.
face.
You know, but
Don't
but-
point at me with those. Sorry, I thought it was more than one finger.
but you know what I mean. Like
His
you know,
face or lack of.
You know.
I do have a small face. See, look, I've got a wee tiny
The line
face.
was said last night that
No, the ratio to my head.
The
is
line
all
was
up.
said
Oh, you
last
have a
night
small
that
head. It's above your eyebrows is small.
Oh, hold on,
Like,
now
that's
this is
small, like-
confusing because somebody else said I have a forehead that just won't quit. So, like, which is it?
It's not beginning.
the the line was said last night that Alan could hide his facial features behind the digestive biscuit.
Which, by the way, is a joke that I wrote about 10 years ago. Actually,
quite
it was
cool.
something my mum said to me.
If you were, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I'd never do anything like that. That's not.
I hope she wasn't watching last night.
She would have got angry out of it. She hated stand-up comedy.
Is this your mum?
Yeah.
She passed on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's all right.
It's all right. Bring it down there. Bring it down there. It's all right.
Andrew, how are you enjoying touring at the minute?
Yeah, 4 shows in. So far, so good. Well, yeah, it's been good.
What do you mean? What didn't you like?
Nothing. No, I'm actually enjoying it. Like I am enjoying it. The crowds are great.
What's been the best one?
Second night in Port Rush was really amazing. I must admit, just one of those when you're in a zone and you're
It's
like,
a great room.
it's just that
This is the
lovely-
one that's the cinema screen?
the Playhouse. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
Did 2 shows in Enniskillen. Did an early and a late. The early show, the microphone broke, but we got it fixed after a couple of minutes. So I had to do it without the microphone. Now, it was just a sound issue, but we got it resolved. And it was the day Pride was on in Enniskillen, but there was also religious people outside protesting. So
Pride or you?
no, but like,
I won't have him
Hey, they were
up
able
here.
to double up.
you know what I mean?
This guy's not even from Ireland.
So
Immigrant stand up upstairs.
So when I was on, the microphone went, and it was one of those where you were like, okay. So I made a couple of kind of gags about it, like, you come to Enniskillen, you can't even get, you're trying to like deal with it, but it kind of went on a bit too long,
Yeah, I've had that.
and then I kind of like had to just kind of be like, okay, we're going to be fine, like, and then okay, what's your name, man? And I'm trying to move all the gear sticks around, and then once the break happened, I went out and I did the show. Then everything was fine, and then it was. But you know what? They've all been really good. But I think it's the first time I've kind of gone and I felt that change of gear in terms of audience, in terms of like, you spend years like going up to clubs like, right, I'm gonna do a really funny 20 minutes. Now and I hope they like me. Now you walk out and they're like, all right, chill, I'm here. It's all good.
Right.
It's like a flip in it, and it's just getting used to that. Like they like you. Hopefully,
they've paid to see you specifically.
Well, if you think about it, like 50% of the audience probably like you, and then the other 50% are brought because will you come to this with me?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you've already got half the crowd hopefully on
Yeah.
board, and then hopefully you don't lose them.
Do you know the best one me and Willie did last week was on my full house tour was Newcastle Tyne Theatre.
Yeah.
Too big, with hindsight. Like venue holds 600, and it's like the Opera House, and I had one full disclosure, like 180 in, so like the floor wasn't filled, and it's a big high
Yeah,
seating.
yeah, yeah.
So I was like, fuck, this is going to be a shit show, complete
No, it's not.
disaster for the audience. Tell you what, one of the best tour shows
Yeah.
ever. It was.
Anytime I've ever gigged in Newcastle, they've been great. It's just done.
Well, I
It's
would
a
normally
fun
do the
time.
stand, and I should have done there, but I got offered a bigger one, and I took it, and I shouldn't have. But now I want to go back and do it full because I was like, that was
Yeah.
the best.
Can I just say, I'm very lucky with all my sales so far, and I'm very appreciative of it. But I have a show in England. It's
In Leicester, is that it?
It's 100 seats, right?
Right.
And I've done 34.
Well, I'm in a
Okay.
400 seater in Cardiff, and I've done that same amount.
Right, I've done 34, right? Okay.
So that's 4 times
You know, this
bigger
is
with
a
that
wee
amount
bit
of
like
people.
two kings crying about their lack of money. Like, this is fuck's sake.
That show's costing me money. But anyway, but my point is this: I can guarantee you that could probably be one of the best shows on the tour.
Yeah, yeah.
So because when you go in with a low expectation, and you also just remember, like I did tour support for somebody once in Leeds Variety, which is a theatre in Leeds, and they had 40 people in, and it's what, like 500 people, and it was, I think, the best show on the tour support that I did for them.
Oh, what? I think if you play into it in the right way and don't seem annoyed at the people who are there.
They still made the effort, like.
The worst thing you can do is act like you're not arse because
No.
those people
Exactly.
paid the same money as they would have if it was sold
Exactly.
Definitely.
out. You know.
And also, you say to them, look, guys, I'm so happy that you came out.
Yeah, yeah.
I really appreciate it. I know there's a small crew of us, but you know what? Let's all do it.
Yeah, that's why I'm not cancelled. Like that, you're right. That Cardiff one, I'm going to lose like money.
Well, that's fine.
But there's people there who want to see the show, so they're going to see the show.
And the other thing is, if you cancel, those people will not buy a ticket next time
Exactly.
because they go, well, fucking,
Yeah,
I made plans and all.
Can I just say, 2014, I did the Guild Balloon in the Edinburgh Fringe with a really shit show, right? And after about 3 days, I went, what have I done? But anyway, long story short, my first night, my agent was standing outside the door, and it was one of the preview nights. And I said, how many have I got in? And he just went, just go and enjoy it. I goes, how many have I got in? He goes,
What was the cap?
52 or something.
Right.
He goes, how many have you got in? He goes, Andrew, enjoy it. 3. Okay. Now, I did the full hour
Yeah.
to those 3 people. There was a couple, and there was just one person on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked up, and I had a great time with the 3 of them, right? And every single year I did the Fringe, they came to every single show.
Yeah.
And every year they would wait for me, and they went, we remember, there was a couple, the one person didn't come, but it was the couple that came every year, right? And they said, we remember seeing you in the Guild Balloon. And when I was at the Fringe in August, they came again, and they said, we are so happy to have seen you go
And
from...
now there's 6 of us.
you know, but like, I remember one year at the Fringe, I was in like a 96-seater, and I was selling it well enough, right? And they came and they said, 4 years ago, we saw you, and there was only 3 of us, and we have followed you because you still did it.
Yeah.
You still went ahead. And I always say to the comics, and Willie this year at the Fringe, right, you know, he had a couple of tough days at the start, as we all do, and you know, that's the game. I said, Willie, you're in the trench, man, and this is where you show your salt now. What type of a comic are you? Are you doing it? Give it, you know what I mean? You don't pull out of this shit. When things go great,
Oh, well,
you
he
write
did not
it.
pull out, trust me.
And he did not pull out. But like when things go great, you write it, and when things don't go great, you stick at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think
100%.
that's the difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I had the same
100%.
experience at the Fringe once. I talk about it all the time. 2 American guys and my dad.
I did
Audience.
one.
It was brilliant. One person.
One, he was a mate of mine. He's like, I've come to fucking, you have to do it.
And you did it?
When we heard, so I did it. And then I got to the last bit, and he went, wait, is this the bit about Richard Nixon? I said, yeah. He goes, I don't like that bit, just leave it there. So I did about 45, yeah.
Did you hear about the guy in England that turned up to do a show in the Fringe and no one there? So he had a tech as well. I think it was a free Fringe show. No, this wasn't this year now. It was a few years ago. He turned up and the tech was there, and said the show was starting at 3 o'clock, and it's like 3:05 and there's no one there. And he goes, right. So the tech is a bit like, you know, zipping up the coat, and he goes, look, all the best, but I'm actually just going to do the show anyway, even to an empty room, but just as
So
a
the
rehearsal.
tech wasn't even in the room.
Just as a rehearsal. So the tech went, say that again. He goes, so he said, you can shoot off, but I'm just going to stay for the hour and I'm going to do it. You don't have to turn the lights on or turn the mic on. So he apparently moved the mic stand to one side, and the tech like stayed and watched him just do the show. And he went, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, you all good? And left gaps for a cheer.
Incredible.
And then he comes in and goes, thanks very much for coming in. How'd you hear about the show? Oh, excellent. Yeah. And he
I've been Mickey Bartlett, good night.
and he actually did. The tech left apparently after a while, but apparently your man did, and he left gaps for the laugh.
Unbelievable.
So there's
that's
a
like-
fine line of commitment, and mate, you need to go maybe just enjoy an hour to yourself.
That's
you
like
know
if
what I
a
mean?
tree falls in the woods and make a noise. Like if no one shows up to a Fringe show, does the comedian still do the act? And the answer is yes. He does.
Unbelievable.
Alan, you have a show coming up in the Sunflower.
Yeah, when's this out?
Probably after that.
Brilliant. Perfect. It's this Sunday.
Oh yes.
Right, so the early show has sold out, and in a moment of hubris,
Alan, two shows?
I've added a second show. Please, please. I know it's not cool to be desperate, but I've wanted to have sex this
I'll
way. I
beg.
believe that you would enjoy my show. And it's funny. It's a tenner ticket. I think it's a good show.
No,
I
you're
think
very, Alan. You're a great stand-up man.
Alan
And,
Irwin's back
you'd be
at
good.
it. He's on form, and you might have seen him open for someone recently. You've got a little taster. Go and get the main course.
Go and see a full hour, baby.
Yeah.
Excellent, man.
Put the link in
And
the
if you don't like the
description.
last bit, you can ask me to stop.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna go. Is this the Nixon bit? Let's shut it off, mate.
Put the link in the description for that, but go see Al in the Sunflower.
Please.
Andrew, you're on tour. You've announced more tour dates.
Yeah, just I have about 15, 20 tickets left over for the studio at the Millennium Forum on Wednesday. the 11th or 12th of October, something like that. I'm doing a Wednesday and a Thursday up there. But other than that, Opera House is just about there, and then that's it then. I'll be taking quite a break then for 2025. I'll be on taking about maybe 6-7 months off.
Head back
Of
up
all
to India
gigs?
for a few
Everything.
days.
No.
Golf, comedy,
Nope.
everything, man.
No. Pods?
Limited. I think the key thing for me where I am is a few things in the pipeline. Do my tour. Thank you very much. I'm going to go away, write a new show, disappear for a while, and then kind of come back again with another show. But I don't want to be like, I basically am very lucky to do what I do, but I also find that I need to have a bit of a life as well.
Yeah.
And the radio's been great to me and the pods and stuff like that, but also it's about, no, do you know what? I'm getting married and I want to kind of spend some time with Julie and stuff.
See if you see at the roast last night, someone listened to you say that and then said, gay.
Is that what happened?
That was the roast environment.
I'd have said, get married, enjoy it while it lasts. Mate, you know what I mean?
Guys, thank you very much, Alan and Andrew, for coming on. Links to the guys' shows and tours are in the description. Patreon.com/Tea With Me podcast. All the good stuff on there. Link for that in the description.
The roast
And
will
that's-
be there.
That's where the roast of Willie T will go next month. Next month after Fusty, same with his eyes. Folks, thank you very much.
Let's get ready for tea with me.